everybody to the stream. I'm your host, Jesus. And with me, as always, on Respawn Please, because I didn't say Respawn Please, I just said stream for some reason. But with me today on Respawn Please, as always, is my co-host, Ell. Ell, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing well. You know, just like I said, as I usually said, like the last episodes, glad it's Friday. I'm glad it's the weekend.
Yeah. It's been a long week for you?
Yeah, it's been long just because of like work and stuff. But overall, it's been, you know, pretty busy with projects and stuff. But other than that, been pretty cool. How about you?
I thought I was free of meetings and stuff. And no, it's the end of the semester. It's the end of the semester. And I get an email like every day going, hey, we're having a meeting today. Can you hop on Zoom? Or, hey, we're having a meeting in this building, in this room. Can you come, please? And it's like, guys, why are you asking me to attend these things when I'm not even going to be here next year? Like, I'm not going to be here in the fall. I don't need to make decisions. Don't let me make decisions that I'm not even going to be here to, you know, see how it turns out.
Exactly. You know? That's so funny.
So, you know, I've just been grumbling all week because I've just been doing that, but it's slowing down for me. Next week, there's an event, which it's not going to matter because you're going to be in Japan. But wouldn't have been able to do a podcast if you weren't in Japan next week because I have to babysit an event next week. Which I shouldn't say babysit. It's like they're all adults. They can handle it themselves. But it's undergraduate stuff. Whatever. But yeah, that's my last thing. And then it's finals week. And then I just sit around until I get to go to Japan, which I have the date that I'm leaving, by the way. I have the date.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, July 29th. I'll be heading out to Japan and moving out there and living out there. So
dang,
you're going for vacation.
Man, that's so cool.
You're going for vacation. I'm going to live for a job.
That's so dope. That's what's up, man. I'm so happy for you for that because I can already tell that's going to be like an experience, and so it'll be nice.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what the hell we're gonna do with the podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Time difference is gonna be huge, but we'll figure it out.
I think it'll work out.
Yeah, I'll just do it at like 1 o'clock in the morning my time or something. You know,
oh my God.
It'll be great. And hopefully the internet will be good. But anyways, we have a lot to talk about because there's a lot of video game stuff that happened today. We had several games come out this week. We had Dead Island 2, which I forgot existed.
Yeah.
The Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC came out, or is coming out today. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp came out, which I'm a fan of, but I don't know if you've ever played Advance Wars. I loved them when I was younger, and I got it, so I will be playing it. I haven't installed. I just haven't played it yet. But we also have other video game news to talk about as well. We have a Fortnite movie coming, maybe. What?
Whoa.
A Diablo 4 final beta has been announced, and there's more Overwatch 2 nonsense that I don't care about, but we'll let Elle talk about it. But before we get into all of that, I need you to tell me what you've been playing. But before we get into that, I want to congratulate you, Mr. Diamond rank piece of shit. Congratulations on Diamond. I know you were hyped. You posted the picture last night, right? That you got into Diamond.
Yeah, last night. Yeah.
So congratulations. Everybody applaud. Woo.
Thank you. This is where I'll put in fake crowd cheers.
Yeah. But, woo. Confetti everywhere. You remember the Halo headshot, the grunts? Do you remember that? Anyways.
Oh, yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, it was funny because I actually had made it to Plat, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I could just, you know, I don't know if you ever noticed, like, or if you noticed with games like that, whether you were playing like back in the day competitively Halo or just whatever, but I didn't realize that I was getting better until like I got into higher ranks, which like I said, eventually I started noticing some of the matches when I was in Plat, as I started to climb that, it would say like what they do now in Overwatch 2 is they tell you when it shows all the people that are in the match, it tells you what rank everything is in. And so it'll tell you what rank the overall competitive match is. And then like I started to notice a lot of diamonds, and I was like, whoa, this is a diamond rank match? Okay. But what's interesting is that I guess I thought you can tell that the overall like skill set is better, but because I didn't realize that I was getting better, it didn't feel that much different.
Yeah.
It just felt like oh, these people are around the same skill set. And so that would happen. And then all of a sudden you start to notice certain strategy play and you start to notice certain things going on. And eventually made it to Diamond 4. And now, because I made it here, I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll make it to Masters, or maybe I'll make it to
Is that the goal now? Is that where the goalpost is now? You're going to go. I guess pretty soon you'll be in the top 500 and you're going to be on a pro team, and it's going to be L takes off. He's on a pro team. Captain of a pro team.
What's funny is, like, I thought about that, and like a part of me was kind of like, do I really ever want to make it to top 500? Because then sometimes I get a little like hesitant to where I'll be like, if I make it when you make it to the top like that, in that kind of range, do you just become bored of it and it just becomes more so like a job? You know what I mean? Instead of enjoying it. And so, we'll see. I don't know if I make it to Masters, to be honest, I almost feel like that's good enough for me. If I made it to Grandmaster, I'd be like, wow, like this is crazy. But anyway, thank you. Yeah, it was so funny that I made it to that. Because I'm also in Diamond as well with support, and so are you gonna try to get Diamond with DPS now, or well, DPS was the one that I reached Diamond with, but now I'm gonna try to get with support. Okay. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do tank, because tank is like maybe I'll just do it for fun.
I mean, you don't know until you try.
Very true. But like tank sometimes kind of feels like, to me, what DPS was when I initially wanted to do it, where I was like a little worried and there's so much pressure on it. But then maybe as I play more, I'll get used to it or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up though, man. Congratulations. I know. I'm assuming that's mostly been what you've been playing this week.
Yeah, playing that. Of course, also still playing Slay the Spire. And I told you this before stream. I got Inscription for the Switch because I love that game that you introduced me to. Just got Hollow Knight for the Switch, and I played that on PC, but I wanted to have it on the go as well.
Hollow Knight.
And then been playing Slay the Spire, and then I think that's about it. Not a lot, but oh no, I'm sorry, Grand Theft Auto 3. I'm finally about to finish it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing much myself. I'm just burped. Sorry. I've been playing Slay the Spire, actually. That's pretty much all I've been playing. Nice. I did, out of boredom, at like 10 o'clock last night, 11 o'clock. It's probably closer to 10. I was like, you know what? I'm going to install Mass Effect Andromeda, because I've been sort of playing Mass Effect 1, and I'm not playing Mass Effect Andromeda the single player. I decided that I wanted to play the multiplayer, which is basically just a horde mode. You fight waves of enemies, and occasionally objectives pop up. And so that's what I've been doing. I did that for like 2 hours last night, and then did about an hour of it today when I got home from meetings and stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to stick with it or what. Next, like I keep saying this. I feel like I'm a broken record because I said it last week, and I'm pretty sure I said it the week before too. I've just been like in a gaming funk, not really. Playing Diablo made me realize that all I want to do is play Diablo. So Diablo 4 doesn't come out until June, you know. So I'm hoping that next week when Star Wars Jedi Survivor drops, that's going to rekindle. Oh yes, a game that I want to play, because like I'm anxious. Like I love Star Wars. I loved Jedi Fallen Order. So Jedi Survivor will hopefully get me back in, because I've been trying like different games, and like I'll play like an hour, or sometimes not even an hour. I'll play for like 10 minutes and be like, nah. Like I started playing Persona 3 Portable on PlayStation 5, and I've been wanting to play it for a while. Like it was like one of those games that I was like planning on playing eventually, and so I was like, I got nothing to do until Jedi Survivor. Might as well try that. Played about an hour, and then I was like, and yeah, I don't know, like. Nothing is grabbing me right now. It's so weird for me.
Yeah, I get that. That makes a lot of sense. Definitely.
I even tried to play Minecraft. I don't know why. It's like I installed it, I played it, and I was like, I don't like this. At all.
That's so funny.
I just punch in fucking the tree and get wood and then throw it down and blah. I was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. It's stupid.
That's so funny.
But yeah, I have been playing a lot of Slay the Spire. It's been Slay the Spire like on my laptop at school. Last week it was Vampire Survivors. This week it's Slay the Spire when I'm
nice.
on my laptop when I'm at school, waiting on in between meetings and classes and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, just
Nice,
casual
yeah.
fun. I have reached what is it called? The Ascension levels? Is it called Ascension?
Yeah, are you talking about with the wait?
Yeah, Ascension levels.
Okay.
I got to level 20 on the defect. So
okay.
I've gotten to level 20 on Ironclad, and I've gotten to level 20 on defect now, which is the robot. I still need I still need to do up for Silent, which is the green poison person, or shivs, whichever build you want to go with. Got to get to those. Not that it's like tied to an achievement or anything. I just got to get to those because
I get that.
I'm
enjoying it too because I'm still progressively learning the defect class, and
Defect's
so
best.
I'm trying to like learn the strategies on them just because it's like the pacing of it is way different than like Ironclad and the Silent class, and so but it's a lot of fun with the orbs and just anything that you can do with it.
Yeah, the orbs. Are you focusing on lightning builds or?
I at first I was focusing on lightning builds, but then now I think I'm focusing on the dark orbs, and trying to get that a little bit more because lightning builds when like you can actually get them like super quick, they're like effective, but like sometimes the draws that I'm getting just aren't that great, and so I'm like, it's like trying to make it last as long as it can before like the enemies are just like unbeatable sometimes.
Yeah. That's the downside. I think I mean, that's the way for pretty much all the builds too, is that like the obvious build that looks like easy to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, anyways, but, let's get into the Dead Island 2 reviews. My dog is barking because someone honked the horn. I think my father has returned from whatever he was doing, but I'm going to ignore that for now. Hopefully I don't need help with anything because that'd be awkward. Dead Island 2 review roundup is here. Dead Island 2 came out. It came out. I forgot that it was coming out. I forgot it existed. Elle, what's your history with Dead Island before we get into this? Did you play Dead Island back in the day?
Yeah, I did play Dead Island 1. I loved it. But I think so Dead Island, I played through a lot of it. I don't know. I don't remember if I ever completed it, but I actually enjoyed it because I love zombie games and stuff like that. And it's like super fun, especially this one. But there were a lot of like bugs in it that just kind of like sometimes would hinder me on certain missions.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought that it was a great idea that just wasn't executed as well as it could have been. Because do you remember? I still remember when the first trailer came out with like the person, like the hotel's on fire and people are falling from a building and like, or somebody, what was it? Somebody was jogging, or is that the second trailer?
That was the second trailer. That was Dead Island 2 that got shown off in like 2014, 2015 or something like that.
That's right. But I remember Dead Island 1 had a crazy trailer and everybody was so hyped. There was so much hype around it. And people were just like, we can't wait till this comes out. Came out, fell flat. And I played it, but had fun with it.
Do you remember Ron making us watch that fucking trailer over and over again?
Yeah.
He would put it on in the freaking like, common area. He'd be like, guys, watch this. It's so cool. I was like, yeah, we've watched it like 20 times already, dude. It's like,
I remember, that was the trailer. I think everything was in slow motion.
Yeah, everything was in slow motion and stuff. It was like that little girl. She got turned into a zombie and jumped at her dad and everything. And they got thrown out the window, right?
Yeah, that's right. They got thrown out the window. Man, it was so dope. But man, that game could have. I saw the potential that it had, and I was like, it was okay for like what it was built up to be. But it had much more to live up to. Yeah,
that's similar to mine. Like history, I remember going, oh, this is cool, and then I forgot that existed until like 2013, 2014 ish, and then I got it and Riptide. I don't know if you remember Riptide. Dead Island Riptide.
Yeah.
I got them on sale on Steam or something like that for that was fairly cheap, and was like, Dead Island. Never actually completed the game. I don't even remember getting out of like the first zone area. I like replayed the beginning part where you wake up on the beach and crap. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
I remember doing that so many freaking times, but I just never got anywhere because
that's so funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's get into Dead Island 2. The reviews surprisingly are decent. You know, it's sitting at a 75 on OpenCritic right now.
Okay.
Over on IGN, Travis Northup gave it a 7 out of 10, saying Dead Island 2 is a hysterical Los Angeles infused satire that does most things well enough, but feels like a stroll down the walk of fame of celebrated zombie games that I've already played without adding many new ideas of its own. That was a run-on sentence. In fact, aside from the stellar comedy bits, I can think of very few things that Dead Island 2 does better than last year's Dying Light 2. Well, there you go for me. Still, if you're ever wanted to put your Wolverine claw straight through a zombie's face or knock someone's head off with a golf club, Dead Islands 2 got you. Its blood-soaked melee combat and memorable characters are a lot of fun, especially when accompanied by friends in co-op multiplayer. The somewhat generic crafting weapons and upgrading your skills as you lay waste to armies of spray-tanned undead is entertaining enough on its own, but the strong writing and completely irreverent tone are the true stars of the show. The key here for me in this review is saying that it doesn't do anything better than Dying Light 2. Let's just real quick say this. I absolutely hated Dying Light 2. So there's no way I will ever play Dead Island 2 just because of this now.
That's so funny.
PC, and then we're gonna pull a review from PC Gamer real quick, and I think it's really funny because let's point this out. IGN said the story was fun.
Yeah.
PC Gamer, not so much. PC Gamer, crap. Who wrote the review? Sorry. PC Gamer's Lewis Parker gave it a 55 out of 100, saying Dead Island's 2 weakest element, however, is its shambling story. You spend the whole of the short campaign finding flimsy narrative excuses to visit each different section of LA, constantly being introduced to new disposable characters who stop being relevant the second the plot transitions you into a new area. Most of these characters are written to be annoying in a cheeky nudge, wink sort of way, with washed up actors and LA socialites forming the majority of the cast. Yet at no point is the writing ever funny or witty enough to elevate these characters beyond their base concepts. And it's certainly never clever enough to play it off as satire. I think this is just a really interesting stance where IGN was like, the story is great, the characters are great, it's great satire. And then PC Gamer is just like, no, it's not good enough to even be satire. I'm going to be honest. The reviews do surprise me. With the troubles that this Dead Island 2 had, like because it had multiple devs changing developers and stuff, and it just took forever to come out. Just always forgetting that it was going to come out and exist. I was surprised, one, that it was coming out this week. I completely forgot that it was coming out this week. And two, I was just like, wow, it's actually getting in the 7s and 8s and all of that. Like, I haven't seen like a 9 or a 10 or anything like that, but it is getting 7s and 8s, and that, which was a surprise to me, because like honestly, this felt like a game that probably could have easily been 5s and 6s. So and
very true.
From what I've seen, like I watched a few streamers today play it. I know Kind of Funny podcast group that I watch all the time, they were playing it. Bruce Green was playing it, and I'm just sitting there watching, and I'm like, yeah, this does not look it's zombies, and it's not doing anything better than Dying Light 2, and I didn't even like Dying Light 2, so like, I don't know. Yeah. Do the reviews make you want to play this at all?
No, not really. Ever since the trailer came out, even like in watching the trailer with the one that we spoke about earlier, where it's like the jogging and then it's like all the apocalyptic stuff going on, the zombies and stuff. Even that almost felt like, I don't know what it is about it. I just felt like something doesn't feel right. I feel like this is just gonna be Dead Island 1 all over again. And like you said too, with all the updates and the devs just changing hands, it's like it feels like a game that I feel like could be like have greater potential if it was just given like the right team, or just given the proper amount of time to develop it and actually fully flesh it out. Because even like you said, watching some streamers play it, or even some like clips of gameplay and stuff, for me just wasn't all exciting. Like I just want, from what I've seen, it just doesn't seem like it's hitting the nail at all. Yeah. And so, maybe if it's on sale or something, I'd give it a try. But I think out of that, just from what I saw, it wasn't as appealing. And I enjoyed playing Dying Light 1. I haven't played 2 yet, which I do plan on playing, but Dying Light 1 to me, I'm like, okay, this is good. I like it. It's pretty good. And just Dead Island 2, I don't think it's gonna live up to whatever hype it had, you know?
Yeah. I agree. I don't really have much more to say about Dead Island 2. I'm definitely, maybe if it's on sale and like when it goes on sale and it's like $5, maybe. Like, yeah, there's just Dead Island 2 just does not appeal to me at all. And and it's easy to compare it to Dying Light 2 because they're both zombie games. They both heavy focus on melee combat and stuff. I think Dying Light 2 does have the parkour system. There's not really a parkour system in Dead Island, but I never really liked the tongue-in-cheek satire-y stuff that Dead Island 1 was doing, and I think that's probably why I never got too far into that game, because I was just like, whatever. I think the only cool thing about Dead Island 1 was the Hoodoo You Voodoo, or not, the Hoodoo. Do you know what I'm talking about? The opening song. The opening song. Yeah.
I forgot the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the zombie song at the beginning, and then it's like, that's the only cool thing that ever happened in that game. That was the opening credits for that game too, or the opening sequence. But but moving on to a game that, getting a little bit better reviews. The Horizon Forbidden West, I misspelled forbidden. Horizon Forbidden West, Burning Shores DLC. It's currently sitting at an 80 on OpenCritic. Over on Push Square, Stephen Talby gave it an 8 out of 10, saying, words are hard. Like Frozen Wilds did with Horizon Zero Dawn, Burning Shores takes what was already great about Forbidden West and gives you a sizable new playground and a bunch of extra toys to play with. The archipelago is great fun to explore by land, sea, or air, with plenty of interesting things to see and do. Certain areas feel a little underutilized, but overall, this is a great expansion that continues Aloy's story and sets up for things to come in Horizon 3. And then over on IGN, Simon Coddy gave it an 8 out of 10, saying Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC is a worthwhile addition to this acclaimed action-heavy sci-fi series. Fun new challenges and enemies are introduced, and cool new ways to dispatch them are presented with regularity. The story is more concerned with developing character than it is working towards dealing with the imminent world-ending threat, and it's Aloy at her most personal and believable yet. A couple of poor boss battles aside, it's a great new chapter with enough creative new bells and whistles to keep fans more than happy. I'm going to play this eventually. I don't know when, but I'm going to play it eventually because I like the Horizon games. I still need to complete Forbidden West. I haven't completed the main storyline quite yet. I know how it ends. I've spoiled it for myself, all that jazz. But I just got kind of burned out on it because I went from playing Horizon Zero Dawn right into Forbidden West, and that it was just I shouldn't have done that because. I got too much Horizon at the time. But I do like the series. I do like the character of Aloy. I do think the world's interesting. So I am going to play Burning Shores, especially since this seems like it's a good, chapter and exploration of Aloy, which is always fun. Aloy is a cool character.
Exactly. I plan on getting into it eventually too as well, even though I have not touched this series at all, just because the series has the unfortunate timing of always releasing with other big AAA games, and so it kind of gets buried in the shadows. But I do plan on getting to this the same way that eventually I went through A Plague Tale, and so I will definitely go through it. But I'm glad that this is doing great because this was released by AAA Studios, or a AAA studio. Yeah, it's a
Sony game, so yeah.
Oh well, there you go. Yeah, so. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, with Sony behind them, this is good just to keep it going for the 3rd edition whenever it comes out.
Oh yeah, that's all I got for Horizon Forbidden West. I don't need to expound anything, but you know what? We can talk about.
Oh boy,
a Fortnite movie. A Fortnite movie? Question mark.
Fortnite.
This is from an article over on IGN titled "Fortnite CEO Knows Exactly How He'd Make a Movie Adaptation, but Don't Expect One Anytime Soon." The article is by Rebecca Valentine. and this is straight from the article, in an interview with Collider, Donald Mustard said that the company was not actively working on a Fortnite movie at the moment. Donald Mustard is the CCO of Epic, but then explained that a future adaptation is still a possibility. Quote, to me, I want to do stuff that always just feels authentic and is a great story. And so it's not something we're actively working on right now. I'm not going to say it would never happen. In fact, I mean, I know exactly how I would do the Fortnite movie, whatever. Exactly. I know exactly the story I'd want to do. But it's not the focus right now. I don't have time. So this was actually like a whole lot of nothing.
That
but
sounded
this phrase
like
really freaking weird.
yeah. That sounded like a parent trying to like lie to their kid about something that they don't want to know. I could definitely do that, but you know, I have to take care of the family. I have to go to my job, so I can't do it right now.
I need to go take a shower. I'll do it after the shower. You know?
Yeah, that's so funny because that definitely sounds like a very Hollywood answer. Of like, yeah, we could definitely do that. When? I don't know.
I know exactly what I want to do though. Let me tell you the story I have. Woo! The Rock is going to be in it. Let me tell you. I mean, The Rock's already in Fortnite. He might as well make an appearance in the movie. Would you like with video games movies being hot right now because of Super Mario? I mean, Super Mario. I mean, let's be real. It started with Detective Pikachu and Sonic a couple years ago, and then Sonic 2. Now we got Mario. We're probably going to get more Mario stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Fortnite is probably the most popular freaking IP, at least here in the US, right? Out there, like it would make sense that Fortnite would at some point decide to make a movie because it is almost like they are what I don't know what the right word for this is, like it's almost too big to contain to a video game, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say here.
No, I get that.
It's popularity, I mean.
Yeah, I could definitely see it being a movie. It's kind of hard because this is one of those franchises where like trying to create a story for it, it almost makes you think of, you could do it in a sense of like a Wreck-It Ralph type of way. If you Wreck-It Ralph, you know, it's about a game and it just has all these other properties that are in there as well, just like big characters that people know. Yeah, I could see it being that way. And there's like, there's not really like a big bad boss in like Fortnite, but I'm pretty sure they could come up with one.
No, that's not true. The Rock's character was supposed to be the bad guy, I thought.
Is it the Shazam? Was he Shazam?
No, he had like the Rock's Fortnite character. What is his name? Because he was like called he had like a specific name.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it wasn't. I'm looking because this was like last year. The Foundation. He was called the Foundation.
That sounds like a lazy name, but anyway.
The Rock was the Foundation or something like that. It wasn't just the Shazam thing, but it was the Foundation.
Gotcha.
There is like lore behind Fortnite too that.
Oh yeah,
that's there. That I get. They like, you know, it's not on the surface like, you know, Fortnite is, you know, just the, you know, battle royale. Everybody thinks the battle royale stuff, and there is like reasons for why the island is changing and why things are happening and stuff. There is lore to it all.
Gotcha.
If you want to get into the weeds of that, but like nobody knows that. Nobody knows that lore.
That's hilarious. No,
unless you actively like look it up.
Well, if that's the case, then I could definitely see them just taking it and just running with that, and they'll be like, all the Fortnite kids will love this, and then depending when this is done, the kids who played Fortnite and get older will be like, wow, I remember playing Fortnite the same way that Mario Brothers is like internationally known. They'll be like, oh, I remember playing, you know, build mode. I remember playing, you know, that's how they get everybody.
Yeah. So I'm just going to give you a rundown of this fucking shit.
Oh, no.
Okay. So, all right. So, I'm just looking at the Fortnite Battle Royale lore. I'm just looking at their wiki page. So there's the 0 point, which is the source of all realities. The nothing is the first entity in existence before the birth of 0 point. Reality 0 is the reality of Fortnite Battle Royale, and it's the center of all realities. The loop is the matches of the players of the battle royale. A looper is a player.
Okay. All right.
The Foundation, which is the Rock, is the leader of the Seven. God damn, dude. They're just like words here. They're just words.
Yeah, I know. It just sounds like words that people are like, this means that.
The Seven, a faction trying to stop the IO, liberate the 0 point, and destroy the loop. Okay, now we're getting. This sounds like fucking Deathloop.
Yeah, I was about to say it sounds something like that.
The
That's
Resistance, a subfaction of the Seven composed of loopers who participated in the war against IO. The IO is the Imagined Order, an ancient organization founded by Gino, aiming to create the perfect system of organization for the perfect civilization by any means. So I guess the Seven's good, I guess. I don't know. Who's Gino?
I've never known any of this lore.
Gino is the founder and leader of the Imagined Order. First mentioned by Jones in the Zero Crisis Deli. He's the father of the Imagined and the Order. His personality. Wow. What is his personality? Gino is a genetic scientist obsessed with the perfection and immortality. He wanted to protect and perfect every reality in the Omniverse. What the fuck? Fuck this.
It sounds like a bunch of words put together.
Wipe all this away. Just put The Rock in the movie and let The Rock do whatever he wants. There we go.
Exactly. That's how they're probably going to do it.
I just went on a rant that probably nobody cares about. But there is lore to Fortnite, so they could easily do a movie. That's my point.
Very true.
That was my point.
That's so funny. That's very true.
All right. Anything else you want to say about the Fortnite movie? No? Okay.
No, that last lore drop that you gave just messed my brain up. And so I'm just trying to hold it together for the rest of the episode.
All right. Moving on to the Diablo 4 final beta has been announced. And this is from an article on IGN. Diablo 4 announced the final beta. Announced during a live stream, Diablo 4's developer said that the server slam, which is meant to be the team's servers, which is meant to put the team's servers to the test ahead of what they hope will be a steady launch day. That's not going to happen. It'll take place on the weekend of May 12th, starting at 12 p.m. PST on Friday and conclude at 12 p.m. PST on Sunday. Unfortunately, players who participated in the first two beta weekends will find their characters deleted, as promised, and progress made in this final test will not carry over for the final game. The server slam will be open to all players on all platforms and will include 2-player couch co-op on consoles. So, Elle, you have a chance to go at Diablo 4 again. Don't miss it. This is your chance to figure out if you're going to like it or not. And then if you like it, you can buy it and then we can play it together and I'll be happy. Because I'm already in on Diablo 4. Like I mean, I was on Diablo 4 the moment it was announced because I love Diablo. I had so much fun on the 2 beta weekends they already had. I will, because I'm no longer, this is falling on a time where I'm no longer going to be working or anything. I will probably dive in and play and stuff and just dedicate my entire life for that. I can guarantee you, though, as much as they want to test these servers out, I guarantee you launch day is going to come and they're going to have fucking issues. I almost guarantee you. Like, that's just how it is. No matter how many times companies test out servers tend to not work, at least on the Blizzard side. Like, Blizzard does this fairly regularly. I mean, look at freaking Overwatch.
Overwatch too. Like, yeah, it happened with Overwatch too.
So it's like, I don't imagine that no matter how much testing they're going to do, I'm willing to bet they're still going to have overwhelming server crashes and stuff on launch day. But hey, it's cool that they're doing it. And again, this is a good chance for UL and for other people who might be on the fence or have heard people talk about Diablo. This is a good chance for y'all to check it out to see if you want to play it. Because I personally love Diablo. I think it's brilliant. So
yeah, I was definitely gonna. I was expecting them to have another weekend, and so I was like, well, since I missed out the other 2, I was like, I'm gonna give it a chance this time, and I'll have plenty of time to kind of like mess with it to see how I feel about it. So
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty cool too that they're doing 2-player couch co-op on consoles. That's pretty cool. I don't know how that would play out well, but whatever. Make life easy for people. But yeah, I look forward to it. I'm going to play it. If you play it, let me know and we can hang out and I can guide you through some stuff. They also announced a bunch of changes they've made and stuff. Like they nerfed the necromancer because The necromancer was OP as fuck. Yeah. You could summon things and basically just sit back and let your minions kill everything. So now they've made it easy for the minions to get destroyed and all that. The barbarian, which I felt this a lot, was like the most underpowered thing. And so the barbarian has been buffed. So they're trying to like tweak and balance things. And so all those tweaks are going to be in this beta as well. So it's good that they're taking feedback from the community and applying it. I think Blizzard's always been fairly good about that with all the games from Overwatch, World of Warcraft, and even Diablo and stuff. So it's good to see that they are trying to take this seriously and balance things out. Nice. Sucks for me because I love the necromancer and I don't mind being OP, but but I get it. God, you don't want one thing to be too big. And then they're also changing the way dungeons work, because this was one of my gripes, that the dungeons all kind of felt very similar. They all got, and like once you do a couple of them, it's less like they all felt the same. Like I kept doing them because they like gave you boost and stuff, but like I was just like, it's doing the same shit over and over again. Kind of boring. Not really exciting. So hopefully the changes they make for the dungeons and stuff will also work. But
nice.
That's Diablo 4. We have to talk about some other Blizzard property. I don't know. Maybe y'all have heard it. Some bullshit. Overwatch 2, whatever. I'll take it away.
You're talking about the once game of the year, Overwatch. Didn't it win game of the year a long time ago?
Yeah, 2016. I mean, Overwatch 2 never won anything because Overwatch 2 sucks, but
well, hey everybody, this is the Overwatch segment. Maybe I'll make like a little clip and I'll do dun dun, or I don't know. But anyway, so there's been an update.
I don't know. Is that even Overwatch music? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Damn it. Let me just get some Overwatch music.
You're going to play music?
No,
that's
I'm
hilarious.
joking.
So there's been an update. Of course, for those who aren't unfamiliar with Overwatch, they just introduced another support character called Lifeweaver, the latest character for Overwatch 2. And of course, we've had, I want to say, a week, maybe almost 2, to be able to play with Lifeweaver. And Lifeweaver was a new change to Overwatch 2. There's been a lot of back and forth talk between people who play it basically as a career, and just your standard users of talking about, oh, this is horrible, or, this is a great change of pace. Well, there's some updates going on now with Lifeweaver, because I want to say, I could be wrong, I think next week they finally go into competitive, which meaning you'll be able to use them in competitive match if you play support. And so there's been one of the big things that they talked about for Lifeweaver is that their abilities, the standard way that, like, depending if you play with controller or PC, especially I know for console players, they had difficulty using like all the abilities, and it was just like very clunky and just wasn't working that well. Well, Aaron Keller here on Twitter announced that they're going to add new controls for the abilities. And so alternative fire, let's see, or semi-all fire. Oh, sorry. This is the new control scheme that they have for Lifeweaver. Alternative fire will now fire Thorn Valley, which is like the Needler. That's what I compare it to in Halo.
Yeah, the purple spray.
The purple spray. It's like purple little needles. That's what they look like, and I immediately think Needler.
Do you think it's a grunt? Do you think Lifeweaver is a grunt?
Secretly? It's two grunts?
Yeah. Multiple grunts standing on top of each other in a skin suit. Yeah.
That'd be so funny. The platform... It says here that the platform is going to be replacing dash on ability 1, which is different for depending on what console or PC you play.
What is what
platform is the pedal? The pedal platform.
The pedal thing. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's just moving around. It's moving from where dash was.
Okay.
Which is he does a short little dash that also heals him a little bit.
Yeah.
They're also adding that the platform will be cancelable with the same button that you use it for. Dash is being moved.
Was platform not cancelable before?
It was, but I think you had to use a different button.
Okay.
And then dash is actually going to be moved to double jump, because that just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
If you've ever played like Hanzo or something, he does a dash that's like a double jump, but for some reason they didn't think to do it the same as that.
Yeah.
And then auto reload of the thorns will be slowed to compensate. I'm not too sure what that means. But they go on to...
I don't know either. I thought it was like... I feel like because it says 1 out of 2 tweets, so...
Let me see if
slow
I
to
can pull up the
compensate.
full...
This will become the new default with option to use the old style. Yeah, that still doesn't make sense. the other tweet connected to it.
Standard dev updates from Blizzard. This is sometimes you're like, I don't know what words they're talking about. But also some Lifeweaver updates as far as their abilities. So Healing Blossom, which is basically the heals that he does to his team, to their team, is going up from 20 rounds, so to speak, instead of 12. And the slowed charge up that you could do with it kicks in 1 second after fully charging. I don't know what that means either. So
I mean, it's the because you had to charge up the Healing Blossom to begin with, and it took forever to charge. That's the one thing I noticed when I played. What was it, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago? I don't remember when we played.
A year ago? No,
20 years ago. I'm never playing again. So
that's so funny. Thorn Volley. So the spread was kind of wide. Now they're tightening it to be a little bit more precise.
Okay.
The Tree of Life, the health was at 1,000, but they're raising it to 1,200 to kind of make it a little bit more beefier. And then also, Tree of Life it pulsates whenever it's out and still up. And it would get 50 health, but they're buffing that to 75.
Okay.
Then lastly, they had this ability called Parting Gift, which basically is whenever Lifeweaver got killed, they would leave a health pack that either an enemy or a friend of, or excuse me, a teammate could pick it up to heal themselves. But now they're thinking that was probably just bad in general, so they're removing it completely from from their.
So is it almost a reverse Junkrat, right? Because Junkrat drops little grenades.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, instead of
it was a health pack.
It was the heal.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah,
well, they need to remove Junkrat's bombs. Then, jeez,
that's so funny. but yeah, so these abilities will be coming. It says the updates will be 4/25, so that'll be next week on Tuesday, which I think that's when they're going to be able to be used in competitive.
Oh, and, really?
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, if I remember, I can't remember when they came out. Yeah, so. That's when everything will be updated. That's really the only update that they provided. So it's going to be interesting. What I'm interested to see is how they use it in competitive. Just because I wonder, people still have a fear of people trolling with Lifeweaver with the ability to pull people.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be okay. But I know there's going to be a couple moments where people are going to complain because maybe in lower ranks or something, they'll be like, my teammate, they're trolling me and just whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Like, I don't know. Is this doing what you want them to do with Lifeweaver? I don't know how much you've played with Lifeweaver or anything, but do all these like updates and stuff sound good for them?
I think it does sound great for them. I think it's making them more of they're not really what's considered a main healer. They're kind of like just an off healer, and this one kind of helps to beef them up a little bit, because I felt like playing with Lifeweaver when they first came out kind of felt like you were playing with 1.5 support instead of 2 actual supports, just because one damage, they're not really meant to do damage, they're kind of just there poking, but the healing was like couldn't keep up with the pace of the battles and like how much people were losing health. And so I think this will definitely beef it up a little bit more. And I think it'll be interesting because they're a fun character to play.
Yeah.
With the pedals, and if you can block people with them in certain rooms and they can't get by, and it can just cause a lot of chaos in there. And so it'll be cool.
Awesome. I'm, maybe I'll play again. I don't know, Listen, I'm going to need you to carry me. That's always been the case. I don't think I can ever do competitive again, though. I don't think I can.
I gotcha. This will give me time, because I also want, like I was telling you, I think before the stream, I want to play more tank, just to learn tank. And so that'll give me time. We can do that.
All right, let's do that then. I'm going to be miserable the entire time. Anyways, there's one thing else I wanted to come back to. Because this is gonna lead into the topic that I want to post to you. Rift Warden Stellan has been haunted in his dreams by a being he described as the Shapeless Man, whom he first met when he was young centuries ago. According to Stellan, the Shapeless Man always said he imagined a world of perfect order. After the destruction of the Rift Gate and the opposing opening of a new sideways rift, the Shapeless Man thinks he has won and finally left Stellan's dreams. That was chapter 1 of season 4 of that was chapter 4 season 1 of Fortnite, which ended back in March. But how do you feel about
I didn't even know that.
I was giving you more lore.
I was like, what is this? Is this a TV
Fortnite
show?
lore, baby. I'm on the Wikipedia and I'm deep in this shit, and we're gonna just talk about
Oh my
it.
God.
We're gonna become a podcast where we just talk about Fortnite lore, baby. Get ready, you stupid fuckers. Because this is all we're gonna do now. How do you feel about
no.
I've lost my fucking mind. This is what this shit did to me.
Oh my God. What if it was like a curse and now your mind is just infested with wanting to know more Fortnite lore?
Going down this fucking rabbit hole. It's just a list of names. I'm just clicking on them and getting different information. Oh my God. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for screaming into the mic, y'all.
It's so funny.
All right. Let's get to the topic. How are you feeling so far about 2023 games, Al? How are you feeling about 2023 so far? You know, last year, in the first 4 months of last year, we had some bangers. We had Elden Ring. We had Horizon. There was Dying Light. You know, some might say that game was a failure. That someone is me. And some people might say Elden Ring, worst game ever created. You know, I don't know who would say that about Elden Ring. Definitely L. But, you know, whatever. How are you feeling so far about 2023? We've had Dead Space. We've had Resident Evil. We had, I don't even remember. Those are the only two that I can remember. Hi-Fi Rush. We had Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. We've had, what's it called? Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy,
yeah. Let me see. I pulled up a list here. There was some. You said the Dead Space remake. WWE 2K23.
Yeah, 2K23. Maybe. Like, how are you feeling about these games so far? Like, because I feel like last year, and sorry, I'm cutting you off. I apologize.
No, you're okay.
I asked you a question and I jump in. Last year, I feel like when I look at it last year, I realize really the game that kind of took away the conversation last year was Elden Ring, right?
Yeah.
Like there was Sifu, there was Horizon, and like all of those games are good. I think this year, because there isn't that like big, oh, look at me game, I feel like this first 4 months is better than the first 4 months of last year.
Okay.
Because we have more, I feel like there's more good games.
Variety?
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily say variety, but I would say that I think there's more consistency almost across the board. Because I feel like there's been a solid game coming out every month.
Yeah, I could see that.
Last year, Elden Ring, Sifu, and Horizon were all concentrated in February. They all came out in February. Yeah. And then after that, it was like not really much, you know, until I can't even remember Ragnarok. What else. Yeah, until God of War Ragnarok. I mean, there was other good games that came out, don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, I feel like this year so far, because it was Dead Space in January. Hogwarts Legacy in February, Resident Evil in March.
Resident Evil 4 in March.
April, what do we have? We're going to have Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Star Wars Survivor. And May would be Diablo 4, wouldn't it?
May is Zelda.
Zelda,
and then June is Diablo. And then July is Final Fantasy. Like, there's like a banger game
every single month.
For every single month, pretty much, for different people. Like, it feels like there's a game for every, you know what I mean? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm rambling. Let me get back to you because I cut you off. I apologize.
No, you're good.
How do you feel though? How do you feel so far?
No, definitely. It kind of feels like they're like it's like this big pond and there's more big fish versus like just having a hand, like 1, 2, or 3 big fishes. Because really, like you said, all I remember from last year, I apologize to all the other games, but all I really remember just from what I've seen was just like Elden Ring, which just dominated the whole year last year.
It's still dominating now.
Exactly, because there's more expansion coming soon, and so people are still talking
updates
about
and
it.
Stuff, and
Exactly. And then of course like your God of Wars, and I don't even remember that many games from then. But this year, like you said, it seems like there's something new coming out every single month that is really great, or at least like good, you know? And so so far like I'm enjoying it a lot, because I think, like you said, it gives everybody something every single month versus just having one game that just to like occupy everything. It feels like it's a little bit more balanced, and no one is just like necessarily just hogging the entire spotlight. And I feel like, even though I know Zelda is going to be big when it does come out next month, I was thinking, I think I posted this on like social media on our Respawn Please TikTok. Make sure you go follow. But I asked, so far, besides Legend of Zelda, I know we have Starfield coming out later this year, and Final Fantasy. I don't know if there's a game that feels like it has like like an Elden Ring-esque type of like weight to it. Like Zelda feels like it's big, but I don't know if is it big enough to be talked about till the end of the year type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Starfield is definitely something that is very hyped, even though I'm not too sure about it.
Yeah.
But it just feels like I'm trying to think of like games that I feel like by the end of the year will be like, what are the game of the year contenders?
Yeah.
And so I feel like in the middle of this year we'll see a lot of big games, like you said, with Zelda, maybe Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16. And so it just depends. But overall, sorry to answer your question, I think that it's a lot more balanced, and I think this is really good because it just gives people time to like go through a game, you know, in a month. And then if they want to see something else next month, hey, there's this other game that's really great that comes out. And so it just gives people variety and choice. Yeah.
I like, because we starting in, I want to say August. That's when, is it August is Starfield coming out in August? No,
it comes out in at the end of the year.
It comes out in September.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Baldur's Gate is the big game for August, I would say. But yeah, September is Starfield. I know I asked about earlier in the year, the first 4 months, but like I'm just looking at it. But yeah, there's typically, I think October might be the game, but you know, we're gonna get to the. I guess we shouldn't call it E3 because E3 is not happening this year, but yeah, the Summer Games Fest is what we should call it. We're going to get to that point. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of games are going to get announced that are going to come out in the last half of the year, like Spider-Man. The speculation is that Spider-Man's going to come out in August, September time. And Oxenfree 2 is coming out. I don't know if you saw that announcement, or if you're even a fan of Oxenfree, but for me though, like I do feel like these first 4 months, and I think this is going to continue throughout again, because we have Zelda next month. We have Diablo in June. July is Final Fantasy. August is going to probably have something big. Starfield in September, if Starfield holds to that. But I feel like this year has been well balanced, and it is going to be interesting to see where we're going to be at the end of the year to talk about Game of the Year. Like, are people going to talk about Dead Space in the Game of the Year conversation? Are people going to talk about Resident Evil? In the game, I feel like Resident Evil is more likely to be talked about than Dead Space.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just because Resident Evil is getting 10s out of 10s and stuff like that across the board on multiple sites and stuff, like review wise. But are games like Hogwarts Legacy going to get lost? You know, like it's one of the highest selling games of the year. People are still playing it. It's still selling well. But is it going to be in the conversation at the end of the year? Like when we are talking about Game of the Year, when we're looking at the Game Awards, when we're just sitting back and going, okay, what were our favorite games of 2023? Is Hogwarts Legacy going to appear? Maybe. I don't know. Is Hi-Fi Rush still going to be talked about? Like Hi-Fi Rush, Shadow dropped to the surprise of everybody. And then like overwhelmingly positive score and all of that are people going to talk about Hi-Fi Rush at the end of the year? It's like, I'm trying to think of what games could still be talked about by the end of the year. What's going to stay on people's mind, like Elden Ring did, because Elden Ring pretty much had a chokehold on everything. Even when God of War came out, Elden Ring still had a choke. Elden Ring still has a chokehold now. It's like, so I can't even think of a game like in past years that had something similar to that. I mean, I guess 2018 with God of War and Red Dead Redemption, those two games both kind of had a chokehold, but Red Dead came out at like the end of the year, didn't it? In 2018?
Yes, I think it did.
So yeah, so
it's gonna be it's interesting because like the only games that I feel like so far that could have that kind of chokehold on the year, I could see Zelda having that if the story's just like amazing, which I think it would be. And then the next one, I'm not too sure of it. It kind of feels like 50-50. I feel like Starfield could also just have a chokehold and just be this amazing game, but. Yeah. Unless it gets delayed or it just like doesn't hold up to the hype,
it's going to be 30 frames per second at release, like Redfall.
Oh god!
And people are if that gets announced, Starfield is pretty much dead in the water. I can almost guarantee you that.
It's just so. But we'll see. I think as of right now, this year overall, I think it's going to be like so far. It's a great year, like you said. Every single month, something great is coming out or something fun to be able to play. Because it almost feels like it's. Whereas last year, even though I know a lot of great games did come out, it felt like like we said earlier, it just felt like Elden Ring was just constantly in your face everywhere, regardless of where you went.
Yeah.
And there were times that after a while I was like, all right, I get it.
Elden Ring's fucking good. God.
Yes, I get it. I get it. I want another game. Give me something else. Whereas this one just feels like everyone's getting an opportunity to shine a bit more. Whereas last year, not so much.
Yeah, I agree. Trying to think of one other thing. Oh, Metroid Prime Remastered, another banger.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Metroid Prime. Just freaking. There's just been banger after banger. I mean, I don't know. It's this year. I think is going to easily turn out to be one of the best years in gaming, especially if there is a game that, if the consistency that has been going on for the last 4 months, if it continues throughout the year, then this could easily turn out to be one of the best years in gaming because of there may not be that singular one game that is amazing, like Elden Ring or God of War, where I feel like last year those were the two standouts, obviously.
Yeah.
This year, I think there's a more consistent tone to everything getting released and how it's coming out. And so I feel like this could easily make 2023 one of the best years in gaming if it stays to this quality. Like, if next month, Zelda comes out and it fucking sucks.
And it's another Atomic Heart. No.
Oh, God. If it's don't do that to me. I wish I could take that off my fantasy game critic. God, I hated that game.
But yeah.
But like, if it comes out, it sucks. That would be horrible. Like, even if it sucks, maybe there's something like maybe it'll be made up for by Diablo or Final Fantasy or Starfield or something, but like, right now it's just like, man, it's hard to imagine like any year. I can't think of a single year that has this quality every month where there's, even if it's just 1 or 2 games every month, that feels like there's a high quality game coming out.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to look at this because, like, remember back in the day when we were growing up, this makes us sound old. I never felt like there was a consistent thing. Like there was maybe 1 or 2 games every year that, were great.
It felt more spaced out. Yeah.
Whereas like these last few years have felt like, oh yeah, companies are now like, oh yeah, we're going to release our game this month or we'll release ours this month. It's like almost like, hey, let's make deals here and make sure we can squeeze our things. Oh, we'll squeeze you in through these games, I don't know. Obviously that's not happening. Like companies are not making those sort of deals, but it almost feels that way where it's like, let's see where we can squeeze in to kind of fill a void. And I don't know. It's a fun time. And I think it's 2023. If hopefully it stays consistent and hopefully this is a mark of what it's going to be like going into 2024 and 2025.
Oh yeah.
Where there is a consistent, every month there's a must play game, whether or not you get to play those must play games, whether or not you'll get to them. And those must play games may not be for everybody. Like as much as I got Resident Evil 4, I got swept up in the hype for it. It's not for me. I was going to stream it and stuff. And like, I mean, it's a fine game, but Resident Evil is never for me. And I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it any more than I've already have. I've sunk like maybe 5 or 6 hours into it. And that's enough for me. I don't need to continue. I'll try out Zelda since I've bought Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, even though I said I wasn't going to. I bought it because I'm a crazy person. And
hilarious.
Just going to give it a try. And like, even if it doesn't stick with me, I know I have a feeling it's going to be a quality game no matter what. So
yeah, I get that.
So
agreed.
I just rambled on and on about this. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm hoping, even though I haven't been hearing the best news of Redfall, I want that game to be great. But
yeah, I do too.
We'll just have to
I do
wait
too because I love Arcane.
Yeah,
love Arcane. It's a shame. It's a shame that it's coming out in 2 weeks.
Oh,
right. Yeah, Redfall drops on May 5th. Hold on, let's check.
I think you're right.
May 5th.
Redfall.
May 2nd.
It's it. May 2nd. Oh boy.
So yeah, in 2 weeks, you'll be coming back from Japan. Are you? Yeah. Or will you already be back?
No. I'll still have a couple more days, and then I think 2 more days in Japan after that.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll play. Well, I definitely want to play it with you when you get back. I definitely, no matter like what the reviews are and stuff, I do want to play it with you. I'm gonna play single player, but I would like to do the co-op aspects of Redfall. But hopefully, I'm hoping at the very least that it's going to land in the 7-8 range. That's what I feel like it's going to land in.
Yeah.
It'll be a shame if it gets below 7. Just because like I love Arcane. Like I'm a Arcane fanboy. I love the Arcane games. I've loved Dishonored. I love Prey. I liked Deathloop. I like the mechanics of Deathloop, I should say. I've talked to you about this. I do not like the story of Deathloop at all, but I think the gameplay is some of the best gameplay that came out last year. So, or year, not last year, the year before. So,
yes, agreed.
So, anyways, Ell, wind us down, you son of a gun. Before I go into freaking Fortnite lore again. Let's do it, Fortnite lore.
Oh, no. Everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Respawn Please podcast. You can catch the podcast live every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. The edited version always usually goes up on Mondays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But next week, there will not be an episode. There won't be a live. Sorry. I'm traveling. So we'll catch you the week after, and make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon on the YouTube so that way you get notified whenever we release new videos. Make sure to follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok at Respawn Please Podcast, and thanks for tuning in.
The Earthbound is a mysterious symbiote formed by Gino and later ruled by the Ages. They are the predecessors of the deepest version of the Imagined Order.
I have no idea what you just said.
Someone needs to end this stream. Bye, you stupid bastard.
Bye, everybody.